Hey there, folks. Bosco Nick here with Find Your Truth. I do kind of want to get it a little straight. I can say that we are part of a truth community because we are seeking the truth, but we're not stuck up on conspiracies and all this other stuff. So we know who the enemy is, because we're smarter than the people that keep talking the same nonsense repetitively over and over and over, or, the garbage. They just can't figure it out, but yet they call themselves truthers and they'll still go out and vote and whatnot. I can't believe that this government is doing what they're doing all over again. And it's not just this government, it's a world government. It is a global takeover. I've said this before. I've said it, before this even started. What was going to happen. My first YouTube video, in fact, was based upon just the words police state and what it meant. I broke it down for people. I told you what was coming down the pike. Me and many others have told you what's coming down the pike. And you just continue to brush us off and call us conspiracy theorists, when in fact that's not accurate at all. You're ostracizing the wrong people. See, when you have a man that's running for president and you have veterans that explain to him or ask him a question like, why do we keep supporting Zionist Israel with billions and billions and billions of dollars? And they get to go to school for free. They don't have to pay any of this crazy stuff. They get a free, ride with medical care. And they get a good free medical care. It's not like Canada's garbage free medical care. It's literally good medical care. Sorry, I'm picking up my sister. So anyhow, you have veterans that are telling this man that's, president or running to be president, and they say to him, well, why do we keep paying Zionist Israel all this money, and, we're in all this debt, and we just keep forking over so much money? And the man turns around and says, oh, no, we're good friends with Zionist Israel. I love Zionism. And now he's your president. But that's the Kabbalah, okay? They're not Jews, they're Zionists. They're Jesuits, there's a difference. And then you have this guy, Joe Biden, who's the biggest pedophile perpetrator of them all, of all the criminals. I'm sure there's worse, but he's definitely he puts it in plain sight. But anyhow, you got that guy, how he could even become a runner for president, being the pedophile that he is and the visible pedophile that he is. It escapes me, and people will probably vote for him. And I would say arrest all those people that vote for him, because they're probably pedophiles too. It's not the fact that they're lost. They're lost in many other ways. Yeah, so this man, and I can't believe people haven't figured out that this is all politicized yet. This guy tells people that you got to wear these masks for 3 more months at least. What's in 3 months? Isn't it an election? Haven't people figured out it's politicized? It has nothing to do with an actual virus. There's no sickness. There's no flu. Nobody's dying. And there's medical professionals and people that are losing their jobs and losing their licenses because they're coming out and they're telling you that they're being forced by hand to mark down any death as long as they were, as long as they had COVID in them. They're marking them down as a COVID death. You could be hit by a bus. It's not the bus's fault that killed you. It's coronavirus. It's not the train that killed you. It's the coronavirus. It's not the gunshot that killed you. It's the coronavirus. It's not the flu that killed the elderly person, it's the coronavirus. No, because the PCR tests, they can't test for coronavirus, okay? They don't test for viral infections like that. Okay, and when you do come up positive, it's just telling you probably had coronavirus sometime in the past. It doesn't mean you have it right now. You have an antibody, and the antibody is showing up, okay? And there's many doctors coming out telling people this stuff. So,
I gotta run and get my car.
all right. So, if you can't figure out by now that it's politicized, there is a one world controller, okay? They used to be called the League of Nations, okay? And then they became the United Nations and the Council on Foreign Relations, okay? Washington, D.C. is not a state, okay? It is not part of this country, period. Period. Why do you think there's 3 stars on its own flag? It has its own flag. Each state has its own flag. It's called statism. Okay, we are not one nation under God. If we were one nation under God, you wouldn't have to pay toll fees to go from one place to the next, because it would just be one country, right? One nation. You travel where you want. You don't have to pay a road tax to go drive to another area. It wouldn't even be a state. It would just be another area of the land. You wouldn't need representatives. You wouldn't need all that shit. This is not how the system was originally designed to be set up. And this is what they teach kids. See, it starts at a school level, and they teach kids throughout school that you need to vote for a political oppressor. You need to vote for your class president, vote for your class treasurer, vote for this, vote. And then that's what they bang into your head the whole time you're in school. You got to raise your hand. You got to ask for things. You got to ask the authoritative figure for things, okay? It's not like that's not how it works, okay? Because then when you get out, you have people that get into the law enforcement job and they think that they're authoritarian. They're not. You're a public servant. You serve the public. You don't harass the public. You protect the public. You don't extort from the public. Okay? Unless there's a legitimate crime, and there has to be a victim. If there is no victim, there's no crime. It's that simple. Where'd you put them?
Right there, underneath my soda.
So, on that note, look, we have a policy enforcer here who's gonna squeak through here. I'm not worried about him. But anyhow, it's the simple concept of you are the authoritative figure in this country. We do need to take our country back. We need to stop worrying about the left-right paradigm. We need to, get ourselves prepared. Try to get our, fellow Americans prepared and for what's coming, because it's going to come no matter what, I think. And I think you all know what that is. Could be a new civil war. The country's got to kind of learn again from its mistakes. And our founding fathers and our ancestors stood up against tyranny. Let's see if this generation's ready for it. It's a whole different warfare coming. And it's a whole different day and age. Our ancestors kind of warned us about that. They said the next war would be 10 times worse than what it first was. And I'll tell you why. It's due to technology. You got people with drones now, and all kinds of stuff. So the warfare ain't gonna be the same. Be prepared, stay vigilant, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bosco Nick, Find Your Truth.